We're very lucky to come to some truly special places on the Legends Tour, and this week is no exception. We are here on the beautiful paradise Caribbean island of Barbados, and the players will be taking on Apes Hill. So welcome to the Barbados Legends, hosted by Ian Woosnam. It was an incredible week last year, and we are delighted to be back once again and joined by our tournament host, Ian Woosnam. Ian, great to see you. What is it that you love about the island of Barbados and this magnificent resort?
Well, Kit, you know, first time I came here was just over 40 years ago, and I loved it so much. You know, when I had a chance to come out here in between tournaments or in the winter, after 10 years I decided to build a house, and over the years I've been playing golf here and spending my winters in this beautiful place. Just look at it now, it's a fantastic day, and there's so much going for Barbados. You know, there's so much to do. I'm so honoured to be sort of now affiliated to Apes Hill and be an ambassador, and it's as I'm getting older, I appreciate it even more.
The first event of the 2025 season was back in February at the fantastic Aloha Golf Club, where our 2024 Barry Lane Rookie of the Year, Simon Griffiths, secured his second Legends Tour victory at the Marbella Legends in Spain. So the early order of merit looks like this. Griffiths is at the top, and Scott Hend, runner-up here in Barbados last year to Peter Baker, is in second spot. There was a reason why I was strolling along the beach at the top of the show. I wasn't just working on my tan. We were down there for a reason, as we took the winner of the opening event of the season, Simon Griffiths, down to the beach with a couple of his mates on tour for a celebratory cocktail.
All right, gentlemen, welcome to Barbados. I'm Marlon, your bartender today, and we're going to show you how to make the drinks. All right?
Good to be here.
Good to be here too. Glad to have you.
Simon, how significant was it for you to get a win under your belt very first week of the season in Marbella?
Yeah, I mean, very important to come out and to play well again and to get in the position to have a chance and to see it through. Yeah, it's always very, very satisfying.
Here we go. All right. Voila.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful, that.
There's a rum sour for you. Rum sour.
Lovely.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers. Mud in your eye. Good job,
Good job.
Obviously, you've got a really good group of mates out here on the Legends Tour, and they maybe got here a little bit before you in some instances, but you obviously knew you could compete with them on the golf course. How much was that a driving factor?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've got some great friends out here that have been very successful on the main tour, and you're always thinking, why haven't I done that? So to come out here and, you know, beat them is great. Yeah, it's very enjoyable.
Goes away. It gets very loud now, so, you know, listen a bit. That should be good enough. And sweets for the sweets. There you go, sir.
Amazing. Thank you, sir.
I think your wife will be proud today, right?
Let us try it.
As you missed out at 3 separate qualifying scores by 1 place from getting your full playing rights. Taking you back to then, how much resilience have you needed to get here?
To get to a high level, you have to push through. So, you know, I just think that's in all professional golfers. So, you know, you just keep going, you keep persevering until basically you can't anymore. To get that close shows that you are close. So, you know, you have to take those positives and think, you know, just if you keep playing well, something good will happen. And, you know, obviously for me, a lot of good things have happened. So, yeah, over the moon the way things have turned out so far.
Cheers, Marlon.
Cheers.
Well done.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
sir.
It was a pleasure, gentlemen.
Cheers. This week, DP World Tour stalwarts Steve Webster and David Drysdale make their Legends Tour debuts as they embark on the next phase of their careers. And they'll be seeing this Apes Hill layout for the very first time. Ian, you know this place like the back of your hand. What's the main challenge around here?
Everything's straight in front of you, you know. It's about getting it in on the green, getting it in the right place, and learning how to read the grain on the greens. That's one of the hardest things.
It was pretty firm and fast last year, a lot softer this year. What kind of difference do you think that will make to the scoring?
Well, Kit, I've just hit that 9-iron in there, and it's like pitched by the flag, and it's gone 30-foot past, so it's not that soft. But it's yeah, as I said, this wind's going to get out and dry the course out. It's still going to be fast, but course has improved immensely in over a year. It was just brand new near enough last year, and guys are loving it. And it's what better place to be here in Barbados.
Coming up later in the show, Paul McGinley heads out with a promising local youngster, and we set a 19th hole challenge for some of our pros. But first of all, let's see the best of the action from the early rounds here in Barbados. The course was a little softer than last year, but blustery winds made for tricky scoring conditions, and Ian Woosnam recovered from a 76 with a lovely 68. The defending champion Peter Baker opened up with a roller coaster 69. That included 2 double bogeys, 2 bogeys and 8 birdies. He added a more sedate level par 71 on day 2.
Paul McGinley had 6 birdies in round 1, including 4 in a row to close out a 70. The 2014 Ryder Cup captain had a 71 on Saturday to stay at 1 under par.
Simon Griffiths struggled to an injury-affected 76, and he was forced to withdraw ahead of the second round with a recurring wrist injury. Fingers crossed he's back as soon as possible.
David Drysdale made 576 appearances on the main tour, and the Scot was right in the mix after rounds of 65 and 71.
Greg Owen started with a 68. And this approach at the 7th set up one of 4 birdies in a bogey-free 67 on day 2. He was 7 under par.
Two-time DP World Tour winner Bradley Dredge was also -7 through 36 holes with 2 impressive rounds of 67 and 68. He had 10 birdies, 3 bogeys, and helped of course by shots like that on the very pretty 5th hole. And any time you get away with a 3 on the short holes here at Apes Hill, you're a very happy chappy.
Simon Khan also started with a 67 and drained this putt for a brilliant eagle at the 9th, en route to a 68 in the second round to put himself in contention for a maiden win.
2022 Order of Merit winner James Kingston fired an eagle and 5 birdies in a Friday 65, and he holed that one for one of his 4 birdies in a round of 69. That gave him a 36th hole total of -8.
Well, I always heard some of the top players say I'd rather be one ahead than one behind, so it's a shot, so if you're a shot ahead, it means that somebody has to catch up a shot. If you're one behind, you've got to catch up. So I'm ahead by a shot. There's so many good players right behind me, but it's all going to be how we play the last round, how we to what sort of start I get off to, but looking forward to that.
Kingston takes that slender 1-shot lead into the final round, but just 4 shots cover the top 9, including last year's Order of Merit number 1 Adilson de Silva, 3 back. The final group of Kingston, Khan and Dredge are ready to go, and with some overnight rain, the course is a bit softer, which should yield more scoring opportunities, and it's a tightly packed leaderboard, so this one could be a real roller coaster. Former Ryder Cup player Stephen Gallagher got off to a cracking start with this birdie at the 1st, and he added a couple more at the 3rd and 5th to get himself right into contention. Peter Baker had bogeyed the 1st, but he hit back in emphatic fashion at the par 4 second as he drained this monster eagle putt from the fringe of the green. Simon Khan made a bad start as he missed this for bogey at the 1st, but the Englishman repaired some of the damage with a birdie at 2 to get back to 6 under par. Overnight leader James Kingston also double bogeyed the opening hole, and he dropped a shot at the 3rd to quickly slip back to -5. Greg Owen is chasing his first Legends Tour win, and he got to 8 under par with this 10-footer for a birdie 3 at the first. He finished tied 11th in this event last year. Owen's hopes of a much better finish than that this year improved further as he drove the green at the second. This eagle attempt looked good, but just ran out of steam. It was still a birdie start for the former PGA Tour player. So it's all change at the top after a tumultuous start at Apes Hill. Owen bogeyed the third, but he still has a 2-shot lead through 4 holes. And we can join him at that beautiful downhill par 3 fifth.
Always a challenging hole. Massive bunker away to the left and a ravine. So hitting the dance floor very important here, as all the short holes are. And he is in fact on the green, but some way from the hole, but not a bad shot.
A lot of elevation change here at Apes Hill, and the blustery winds make picking the right club quite tricky at times,
to say the least. Now here's Scotty Hend.
Sluggish start, 1 over through 5 holes.
He does like to have a fast finish though. He's a man certainly to watch out for. 50% of his last round scores on the Legends Tour are usually below 66.
And he'll have a chance for eagle here on the par 5 sixth. Players are in buggies this week due to the testing walk and high temperatures.
Now Kingston, after that really awful start's got to watch out on his mental attitude. Got to keep plugging away.
He's got the experience of 3 previous Legends Tour wins and plenty of success on the Sunshine Tour behind him, and that might just get him going in the right direction. Lovely approach there.
Peter Baker, outside chance for a 2 here on the 8th. Already had an eagle 2 on the 2nd, and hello. Well, he's doubled up. That's 2 2s on the front 9 for Baker. Nicely done. No wonder he's happy about that. Not often you get to get a 2 on this course, let alone an eagle and a birdie in the same 9.
Now, Simon Kahn, can he do what Kingston did and get things going with a good approach here? Oh, it's even better.
That is very impressive, isn't it? Now we saw Hend get it on this par 5 here on the 6 in 2. Difficult uphill putt up onto the top plateau. A little bit of grain on these greens, got to read those, and he's been pretty aggressive.
Well, Lionel Alexander, his playing partner in the foreground there, knew it had a bit of heat on it, asking it to slow down for Scott Hend. Wow, this is this tricky long putt that Greg Owen left himself on the 5th.
One or two players finding these grainy greens a little bit difficult to contend with. Beautiful layout, of course, designed by Ron Kirby, a man who worked with Jack Nicklaus for many years. And of course, Roddy Carr also heavily involved in the Apes Hill design.
First look at Andrew Marshall, who finished tied 5th last year, putting for birdie. And finding the bottom of the cup to move to 3 under par.
Kingston, after that wonderful approach, let's see if he can get back in the ball game. Birdie putt. Oh, he was trying to die it in outside the right edge. Always harder to hole when you're behind the 8 ball at the start of your round, and he really has to dig deep.
It has very much not been the start he was hoping for after his 2nd round. Surely this one finds the bottom of the cup for Simon Kahn. It does. And he moves to 7 under par. So a good recovery from him. A couple of birdies after that double bogey at the first.
Oh, Scotty Hend for his birdie. 2-putt birdie here on the 6th. Absolutely rammed it in. Wasn't going to have any truck there with that one.
So what's this? 5-6 feet for Grego, and these are the ones that really keep the momentum going.
It's always expensive when you 3-putt. Had a good chance there coming back up the hill to be positive with it, just pulled at a fraction, and that's why he's so upset.
Changes again with Owen and Khan now tied at 7 under. Drysdale is ticking along nicely with 5 pars in a row, and he's now just 1 back alongside Dredge. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back to Legends Tour Highlights. We're delighted to be back on the Paradise Island of Barbados for a second successive year.
Strategic partnerships, such as the relationship that we have with Legends Golf, they're critical in terms of maintaining the positioning that we currently have. We are looking at a number of other world-class activations in other disciplines, but we look forward to continuing this partnership and to building on what we've been able to achieve in the last 2 years.
Jody, what does it mean to have the Legends Tour back here again at Apes Hill for a second year?
Oh, it's fantastic to have it again. You know, we have some familiar faces that were here last year, but some new faces, some of the young lads on tour, as you could call them, some guys that have just turned 50, so it's a strong field, and it's nice to see an opportunity for some of the local golfers from neighbouring clubs. Gives them an opportunity to play with them and walk the fairways with some of the legends that I watched play when I was younger.
Every week, as part of our Future Legends series, one of our amazing players takes a local aspiring junior out onto the golf course, and this week it's former Ryder Cup captain Paul McGinley with the incredible 9-year-old Ashton O'Kola.
Okay, Ashton, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Okay. All right, Ashton. It's a long carry from this tee box. Long carry into the wind today. Okay. Somebody told me that you're 9 years old and that you can speak 4 languages. Tell me that's true, because if it is, I'm going to be so impressed.
Yes, it is.
Really?
Yeah.
And you were born in New York?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gotta make you one promise for me. Will you make me one promise?
Yeah.
When you become really good at golf, that you don't play for America in the Ryder Cup.
Okay.
What do you think?
Maybe.
Do you see where my ball is on the fairway?
Yes.
You gotta hit it up to the right of my ball. Oh, that's your best. What a shot. That was pretty darn good, that one. You just have to have fun and practice really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be all right. Okay, it's on the green. Not too bad a shot.
Too hard.
Too hard, but good line. Oi, 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 Ashton. Thank you.
Thank you.
God, you have it all. Good looking boy, got a great hairstyle, he's dressed well. Dad, this guy's gonna he's hit the jackpot in life, hasn't he?
Wow, how impressive is that young man? I think we'll be hearing more from him in the future. Back to the main event, where Stephen Gallagher, who is Europe's Junior Ryder Cup captain, converted this for eagle at the 9th to turn in just 31 strokes. Scott Hend was enjoying the downhill 8th hole this week as he set up his third 2 in 3 rounds with this excellent tee shot that landed just a couple of feet from the hole. Hend is probably the longest hitter on tour, and he gave himself this chance for eagle at the par 5 9th. He would have to settle for birdie and added another at the 11th. Tide leader Greg Owen parred the 6th and 7th, but this short one lipped out at the 8th, so it was a third bogey of the day after his birdie start. A run of pars for Khan is enough for him to now sit alone at the top. Gallagher and Hend have moved into tied second and are the players with all the positive momentum. Owen, though, another long hitter. A real chance to take advantage of this downhill par 5.
Yes, and a man in the past who's done well on par 5s. Remember that albatross that he had in the 2001 Open Championship, only the 6th man in history to manage that feat. And look at that ball career down the hill. That's gone a country mile and a half.
That's ridiculous. It's still going. That's got to be approaching 450 yards. It's a flick in from there.
442 to be precise.
Alexandre, another big hitter for birdie at 12.
Man on pretty good form. He finished 4th in the first event, the Legends Tour event this season, in a lower.
Always plays with a smile on his face, Lionel.
And after that absolutely massive drive on the 9th, oh, and just a flick in really with a wedge, so he'll be hunting down an eagle, and every chance after that. Beautiful shot, nicely controlled the length.
Scott Hend, nice approach here to about 8 feet for birdie to get to 8 under.
Oh, he's definitely on a roll. 4 birdies in the last 5 holes. He'd be really feeling very good now.
Owen to join Hend at 8 under par at the top.
Oh, and you felt he needed that after being a little bit erratic with the putter so far in this round. That will actually give him some heart to play the back 9.
Robert Coles. This for birdie though to get to 6 under. He's still very much in this tournament, as a lot of players right now are. And last year's Stayshore PGA Seniors champion has entered the conversation as well.
Peter Baker, always enjoy watching this man play. Such a simple, elegant swing up and down the line. Little flick in here. Nicely done.
Now Kingston, this is the view that he has for his second shot at the par 5 9th.
Ball above his feet, having to play for a little draw, so he's got to watch out for that water on the left. A little bit conservative.
He really needs to start making some birdies now if he's to turn this round around.
Stephen Gallagher. Just, again, just a little choked down with the wedge and beautifully controlled the length of that shot. Not easy to do coming uphill like that.
Now Simon Khan, can he get off of the par train? Well, no, he cannot, and he's left himself a fair bit of work to do, because he might be getting off the par train in the wrong direction if he can't hold that one.
For an eagle, Kingston has the long uphill putt. Got to give that real hit to get it up the slope, and he's judged it nicely. Could have done with that going in though, the kind of mood that he's in to give himself a real lift, but he'll take the birdie.
Yeah, that will get him back to within 3 shots at the turn, so certainly not where he'd have wanted to be at the start of the day, starting with a 1-shot lead, but maybe if you'd have given him that at the start of the week, he might have taken it. He is still in this tournament.
Yes, when you won as many tournaments as he has around the world, you never give in. Always play to the bitter end.
This one's uphill. Baker can be aggressive here for birdie on 14.
Well, that went in nice speed, didn't it? Confident putt. Bit of an up and down round for Peter.
Gallagher hopefully just to tidy up and move within a shot of the lead. He does. Just his second start here on the Legends Tour was top 10 in Marbella earlier in the season.
Now I can't. For a par here.
Oh, that's a bogey, and it's going to feel like a double bogey on a par 5 that most of the guys aren't hitting long clubs into. Wow, what a volatile front 9. Strap yourselves in, folks, because there's more to come on the back with this wind getting up. We're in for some fireworks. Welcome back to Legends Tour highlights. Earlier in the week, we set a fun little challenge for our players down at the stunning 19th hole here at Apes Hill. I'm hoping we're going to see a hole-in-one.
I haven't had one for 13 years, so if I have one now, without the car on the line, I'm going to be a little disappointed.
We'll have a word. I reckon the producer will sort you out a car if you knock
Happy
this
days,
in right.
man. All right, let's go.
Oh, that's nice, that is. Go on, then. Go on. That's lovely.
Your leader in the clubhouse.
That's great, because I'm the first one.
Simon, Keith's laid down the marker. We've got a nice little pink flag. What do you fancy your chances getting it inside there?
Yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident, Keith. We'll see. Good shot.
Good one. That could be beautiful.
The tactical fin.
All I know is that you just need to get it on the green and running if you thin it. You know what? I actually hit it too good.
That can't be much more than 18 inches, Stevie.
It looks good.
Yeah.
We have a new nursery pin at 10.5 inches.
Oh. Let's see what you got.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's the one.
In.
One bounce
That's
in.
the one.
Oh! Look at that release.
There you go.
Always trying.
Come on. Come on. Come on. In.
Oh!
I'm just a Q school player.
Close one. 1 foot 3 inches.
You've seen a couple of guys go handy. How are you getting this inside them?
Hope.
It works for a lot of people.
You know what? It doesn't even look like it's just a black racer.
Plenty of fun there, but things were getting tense towards the business end of the final round. Stephen Gallagher parred the 15th, but his challenge came to an end due to a costly double bogey at the par 3 16th after he left himself short-sided in a bunker off the tee. Simon Kahn started the back 9 with 3 pars in a row, but he left himself this slick putt for another at the 13th. He made the return putt for bogey and was back to 5 under. Scott Hend parred the 13th before hitting a brilliant tee shot to give himself this eagle look at the 367-yard 14th. He would miss the resulting birdie putt, so it was just a par. David Drysdale made a birdie start to the back 9, but he dropped a shot at the 12th. This birdie putt at 14 stopped in the jaws, and he stayed at -7. Greg Owen had 4 pars from the 10th, and this birdie miss at 14 meant he stayed at 8 under. Hend put the disappointment of the 14th behind him immediately with a birdie at the next, so the Aussie is 1 shot ahead of Owen and 2 clear of Alexander and Drysdale with 3 holes to play. Next up for the leader is this stunning par 3 16th.
Moved the tee forward today, not 235 but just 185 yards, but no less challenging as you've got to set it out over the water and bring it back towards the flag. There is a bunker away to the left, so you have to be extremely precise. Oh, and I think he's just got away with that a little bit, bringing it off the shoulder of the bunker, and that's going to be absolutely handsome now.
I think you can tell from the reaction, he knows he got a little lucky with that. This is Alexander, a couple of shots behind his playing partner Hend.
Awkward too, that breeze slightly from the left, drifting it to the water if you're not careful. But look at that. You won't want that one back either.
Couple of holes back from the 16th. Our final grouping are about to play this 14th, one of my favourite holes on the course, Warren, an absolute stunner.
Well, easy to see why as you drive it through the gap of the palm trees. The hole turns left. You're left with a little bit of an uphill pitch to this shortest par 4, but it's definitely a birdie opportunity. Dredge leaving the tee shot a little bit further back so he can play more of a full shot into the hole, and how about that for a bit of skill? Beautifully done.
Alexander's birdie putt at 16 is to get within 1 of the lead.
Just a little bit into the grain, a fraction harder, may well have held its line. Mind you, anytime you make 3 on 16, you're going to accept it.
Still chances to come, 17 a short par 4, the par 5 18th as well. Dilson de Silva, well, it's not been the final round the Brazilian would have been hoping for. A couple over par to this point. And that about sums up his day.
Yeah, if the putter doesn't work, it's very hard to compete these days on any tour.
A little bit of fringe to come through here for Kahn. He'll need to be quite bold with this one. It's a steep slope.
Steep slope and a lot of swing too from right to left. Never easy to lay it stone dead.
2010 BMW PGA champion still lurking around without really doing much, but a little burst and he could be there. Well, Kingston all of a sudden could get back to 6 under and be within 3. He does. Maybe, just maybe, James can get himself back moving again. He has got the holes in hand.
Yeah, needs a fast finish, doesn't he, after that extremely slow start. Dredge now you would think is just this tap in for his birdie after the delightful pitch up the hill. Well done.
So it gets back to 5 under the Welshman. You would say that is probably too far back with 4 holes to go. Especially if Scott Hend finds the cup here to move to 10 under par.
He wasn't going to miss that kit, was he? Absolutely dead centre.
So what a surge from the Aussie. 7 birdies in his last 11 holes, and he's 2 shots clear after starting the day 4 behind. 10 under par was the playoff score last year. We'll find out if it's enough for the victory this year after the break. Welcome back to highlights of the Barbados Legends, hosted by Ian Woosnam, where that man, Scott Hend, leads by 2 with just a few holes to go. And he's hit a big drive down 17 here, just a flick in, Warren.
Yeah, but the ball just a little bit below his feet, and I think he might have expected to get a little bit more check on that, even though it was pitching on the downslope. Don't think he'll be all that happy with it. You can see he stayed with the shot. No trouble in front of him. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult when you're playing. That obviously didn't allow for the little kick to the right.
Up to the 18th, and Marshall's rangy birdie putt on its way. Couldn't quite get it there, back into the wind though.
Back to 16, Craig Owen. Important tee shot for the Englishman. Always has pretty good rhythm, and he kept it there. Maybe got it right out of the sweet spot. That's carried way to the back of the green. Awkward little chip coming back for him.
He needs a birdie at 2 behind, and it's going to take a bit of effort just to save his par there.
Peter Baker to close out his round.
That's a decent week's work from the defending champion and the man who topped the Legends Tour Order of Merit in 2023. 3 under par.
Marshall should have this little short one for his par to tap in to be home in 33 and round in 67. Very impressive.
Up to 17, and Alexandra, this has to go, you think, for him? Well, you could tell he knew early it wasn't breaking as he expected, and Drysdale on 16T, he's still in this as well.
So we're setting this one out right, trying to draw it back towards that flag, and well, he's got the same shoulder that Scott Hend hit, so he's going to have a little downhill putt for his 2. Excellent tee shot.
Unfortunately, this is for a bogey to finish for Stephen Gallagher.
It's disappointing for the Scot, dropping 3 shots in his last 3 holes.
Not to be for the 4-time DP World Tour winner this week, but he has shown signs of what he's capable of in his first couple of starts.
Important little chip from the back of the green on 16 for Owen's. Got to get up and down. Really would love to hole it. Oh, and he's hit that right into the upslope there, which took all the sting off the shot. So he's got a lot to do to make his par.
So Hend, after the pitch he was a little disappointed with, has this for a 3-shot lead.
How sweet it is. That is beautifully done. May not have liked the little chip into the green, but the putt was exquisite. No wonder he's smiling about that. Thank you very much.
He has put the afterburners on Hend, and he is starting to pull away. The others are running out of holes as well.
Drysdale after his tee shot, also looking to get to 8 under. Well done indeed.
That keeps him on the coattails of Hend just about. But the Australian must have one hand on the trophy, you would think. The 18th, though, one of the toughest par 5s on tour. An eagle is possible, but we've seen double bogeys as well.
Calm though to 16. Former PGA champion at Wentworth, also won in Wales the Celtic Manor Open. And that's a very fine shot indeed. Haven't seen too many come up from that angle so far today.
Scott Hend looking to unleash one on the 18th.
Looks actually to be going a little left, and he looks a little concerned. A lot of thick rough down that left side, and that's where the ball has landed into a bit of a bird's nest. And has he opened the door for the chasing pack?
He certainly has, and one of those pack is Bradley Dredge, but you think he's got to need a birdie eagle finish to have any chance. Can he get the first bit right?
Oh, he can. That is a stunner. Beautifully played. Well, it's all going to be very interesting now.
The similarly big hitting Lionel Alexander's found the right-hand bunker. Going for the green in 2, though.
So important to get those one clean. He's got a lot of run on that. Go on, keep going, keep going.
So that's just right of the green. As you can see, it slopes away severely. Not an easy up and down. Dredge for his birdie to get to 6 under at 16.
Oh, and they're not going away, the chasing pack, are they? They're trying to keep the heat firmly on Hend's shoulders. Nicely done for Bradley.
Yeah, one of the more popular players on tour. Wow, look at that wind in the background as Greg Owen plays his approach into 17.
Yes, he won't know what's happening to Hend down the 18th, so he has to try and find a way to get this close, make his birdie, and he's certainly set up that opportunity.
Hend was able to chip out of the rough to here, so it is just an iron for his 3rd shot downhill to the closing hole.
Stayed with the shot nicely there, ball slightly above his feet, but he's managed to get it just onto the front edge, not quite. But 2 putts from there, I think he'll be grateful to make a par down the last.
He lost in a playoff to Peter Baker last year after both finished on 10 under par. 2 putts from there, and he sets the clubhouse target at 11.
Yeah, it's nice to go one better than last year as we go back to 17. Robert Coles. And just finds a way to make it the birdie. Last gasp, but gets to 5 under.
So green side in 2, Alexander, but really difficult up and down from here actually. The green way above him.
Great shot.
Well, that was pretty canny, wasn't he? Hands well ahead, bumping it into the bank. Judged the amount of break that he would get off the slope very well. That's So important kit to lay this dead. You don't want to leave yourself anything to do on the last hole of a tournament. And I think he'll be happy with that, especially when you consider where he was off the tee.
Just about in the circle of friendship if you're playing with your mates at the weekend, I think. Owen to keep his hopes alive. Oh, he just never hit it.
That putter's not behaved itself all day. If only, it's one of those rounds, if the putter had behaved, it may have been a different story.
David Drysdale just to tidy up. He's too far back now for the win with just the 18th to go, but a very impressive debut from the Scotsman.
Oh yes, you'd expect at some stage that he should win on the Legends Tour. Too good not to.
Can Alexander capitalise on that inventive little third shot with a closing birdie? Yes, he can. Remarkably, the Frenchman has had to come through Q School successfully the last 3 years, and that 8 under par total will go a long way to ensuring he won't be back there again at the start of 2026. After the drama down the 18th, Hend has this for the par and the win, and it's a second victory despite a little bit of a wobble on 18, and what a way to do it. A 64, 5 runners-up finishes since a win in his debut in the summer of 2023, and finally Scott Hend has win number 2 on the Legends Tour. None of the chasers could do anything to stop Scott Hend over their last couple of holes. Simon Kahn did pick up a 4th birdie of the day at the 17th after this fine approach, but a closing par gave him a level par 71. James Kingston also birdied the 17th courtesy of this lovely putt and parred the 18th. The overnight leader played his last 10 holes in 3 under par, but that was only enough for a 72. Greg Owen rolled this delightful putt in for a very valuable birdie at the 18th, as his 69 was enough for solo second, his 5th top 3 finish in 26 Legends Tour starts. But of course, it was Scott Hend's magnificent 64 that vaulted him through the field to win the 2025 Barbados Legends, hosted by Ian Woosnam.
This morning I woke up, I thought, well, it's a bit windy. If I could try and go out there and get my score to a double digits, might get lucky. I looked at the board when we came through 9 and saw that I was maybe 1 or 2 shots behind through 9 holes, and I thought, well, if I can get out there and try and post something, then funny things happen in golf tournaments in final rounds.
And the winner of the 2025 Barbados Legends, hosted by Ian Woosnam, Scott Hend. He received the trophy from our wonderful tournament host, Ian Woosnam. Hend has a healthy lead at the top of the order of merit with a win and a 2nd place in the first 2 events of the season. Owen is up to 3rd. After an incredibly dramatic final day, it took a sensational surge from Scott Hend to get over the line. What a week we've had here in Barbados, and we'll see you next time at the OFX Irish Legends.